From the Hemisphere Arena in San Antonio, Texas, the New Orleans Jazz are fighting for their first NBA playoff berth. They're led by pro basketball's leading rebounder, Truck Robinson. At only 6'7", he became the first player this season to surpass 1,000 rebounds. San Antonio is headed by Mr. Cool, the Iceman, George Gervin, who is averaging 27.5 points per game and ranks as the second leading scorer in the NBA. It's New Orleans against San Antonio next with the NBA on CBS.
The NBA on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. Lowenbrow, light special and dark special, when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer. And by the Kelly Springfield Tire Company. The Kellys, they're good and tough.
Hello again, everyone. It's the San Antonio Spurs against New Orleans. I'm Jerry Gross, along with Stu Lance, former Lakers, Pistons, New Orleans Jazz star. And Stu, there will be no Pistol Pete in this afternoon's game. Maravich is out.
Pistol has a bad knee. He's expected to start working out again tomorrow, so that's good news for the Jazz. But he's not here today, so that's bad news.
A little pressure on Truck Robinson now.
Yes, it is. He's going to have to start scoring a little bit more today, along with all the rebounds that he normally gets. So it's going to be a good contest.
The styles of these two teams, they're very similar.
Both clubs like to run. The Pistol, without the Pistol, the Jazz don't run quite as well. But they're going to have to run because the San Antonio Spurs are an offensive machine, and if you don't run and get them out of their game, they're really effective.
They'll really be flying up and down this court, and of course the playoff right around the corner, hopefully for the New Orleans Jazz. They are hoping that they can get in there for the first time in the history of their club. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this afternoon's game, as CBS is delighted to send it your way from New Orleans. It'll be George Gervin at 6'7", formerly a forward, now a guard on the back line for San Antonio. Mike Gale at 6'4", Billy Paul 6'11" in the middle, Kobe Dietrich at 6'11" up front as a forward, and Larry Keenan at 6'9". Gail Goodrich, Stumpy, formerly of the Lakers, at 6'1". James McElroy at 6'3". That's the back line for New Orleans. Rich Kelly in the hole at 7 feet tall at center. Aaron James 6'8", and Leonard Truck Robinson at 6'7". The jump between Billy Paultz and Rich Kelly. Kelly 7 foot and Billy is 6'11" in the dark uniforms. And going to your left, it'll be New Orleans. And going to your right in the white, it'll be San Antonio. And the Spurs have it. Gervin going into the hole to Paultz. Now Billy doesn't know what to do. It gives it to Kobe Dietrich. The rebound taken away by whom? Taken off on the bounce by Rich Kelly. And here comes New Orleans. They're fresh from a big win last night. New Orleans upsetting back at home Seattle. Missing the shot. That was Truck Robinson.
We have a loose ball foul right now on Aaron James. He got caught pushing a little bit underneath the basket. What the Jazz are going to have to do is force the ball down the floor. They cannot come down and set up every time.
The action here in San Antonio. Last night in New Orleans, it was New Orleans over Seattle. Now they're on the road here up against the Spurs. Gervin, the Iceman.
There's the guy that the Jazz are going to have the most trouble with today, along with every team that they play against. Somehow they're going to have to match up against George Gervin, and I can't see how they do it with the small guards.
He is tough indeed. We have a whistle and a foul. The two officials, incidentally, Don Murphy and Ed Middleton. Number 6 is Murphy, number 18 is Middleton. Missing the shot in the corner. McElroy. And here comes San Antonio. Mike Gale. That's the Truck, the leading rebounder in the NBA, number 21, Truck Robinson. McElroy bringing it up. Beats Gervin. Finds the open man, and Kelly. Kelly again. Kelly again. The big guy dominating the boards. Rich Kelly.
The Jazz are very good on the offensive boards. You must box out every man on the Jazz team because they crash the boards.
No question about it, Stu Lance. The Jazz, the number 1 team in the NBA in rebounding. That's Larry Keenan. Rebounded by Stanford's Rich Kelly. Now here come the dark jersey New Orleans Jazz. That's Gail Goodrich. He's got the great left-handed jumper. Almost lost it, and he jammed a finger at that. Robinson trying to go one-on-one on Dietrich. He's got good touch for a big man.
For a big guy, he can do it all. He can play small forward if necessary, and he also is a big power forward.
So that is Truck Robinson with his first 2 points. That's Gale with it. Larry Keenan going cross-court, dangerous pass. False, and again it's Kelly with a rebound. And Goodrich trying to engineer the attack. Making a good move. He beat Gale but blew the shot. Waltz with the rebound over to Gervin. The Iceman again. Hello.
The Iceman does it all. You cannot let the Iceman penetrate. You cannot let the Iceman shoot the jumper. Here he goes down the middle, takes off, and just flies to the basket and dunks it. I think he caught Chuck Robinson by surprise with that move.
It's a 4-4 tie. 9:42 to go. The action here in San Antonio. And it is San Antonio against New Orleans. McElroy going over to Robinson. 1 for 2, and in with the rebound is Goodrich. Goodrich sneaks down, and Gale makes the play, his first 2 points.
There's a good example of what I just said, that every player on the Jazz crashed the offensive boards. You must box them all out.
That's Dietrich outside. Fultz has a good shot from the foul line. Keenan, who penetrates. Gervin inside, out hustling. McElroy. Now for Big George, he's got 6 points in the ball game.
There's just no way that you can play George Gervin if you're not a big physical type guard, because he's going to take you underneath and he's going to hurt you.
He is 3 for 3 on the afternoon. It'll not be a backcourt violation. It was deflected back there. Stumpy picks it up. Goodrich bringing it back over to Kelly. Fighting the 24-second clock. The shot taken outside by Aaron James. Rebounded. Here come the Spurs. Dietrich goes over on the right side to Gale. That's Billy Paul. That's a good shot from that foul line. You can't give it to him.
The Spurs as a team are such an offensive machine. Anybody can hurt you at a given time. They shoot the ball extremely well.
The Spurs with 8.5 to go, lead by 2. 1 team foul in the game against New Orleans. Now Robinson has taken him into the hole. He'll take that fadeaway jump. Little action underneath the boards. Aaron James groaning. Felt he was pumped from behind. Gervin has it, stolen away by McElroy, who deflects it over to Kelly. Now that's James with it. Now Goodrich. It's deflected. It'll be out of bounds going. It's saved by Gale on a fine play to Dietrich. 2-on-1. Keenan. The Spurs are moving well, Stu Lance.
That's the thing that the Spurs can do. They come down the floor, they force the issue, and they get the job done.
There's a foul away from the ball. Don Murphy makes the call. It'll be called against the Spurs and against Mike Gale. That's his first foul. So each team now has 1 team foul. 7:47 remaining. Aaron James forcing a shot.
Aaron James. That's another situation where the Jazz have got to come down and set it up. They made that particular basket, but in the future, it's not going to be that easy.
The kid from San Jose State, Kobe Dietrich. You see the score as San Antonio bounces into the lead by 4. Biggest lead so far of the afternoon. Kobe Dietrich has 2. George Gervin has 6. He leads all scorers. CBS with the NBA in San Antonio. It's New Orleans against the Spurs. Look at Rich Kelly hustle on the play.
That was a direct result of hustle. He shot not a real good shot to begin with, but he got his own offensive rebound and put it right back up.
A 2-point lead for the team with the ball in white, San Antonio. They are, of course, the leaders in their division. They are going to be in the playoffs. That is a man, and there's a shot now at Doug Moe with Bob Bass on the bench. Bob in the gray suit, Doug the head coach. And it is a 14-10 lead. Kelly almost cuts it to 2. His team's down, and a whistle and a foul underneath.
They got another offensive rebound. You have got to box off the New Orleans Jazz, or they're going to really hurt you. Kelly goes baseline, takes the underneath shot, misses it, but gets his own rebound, and there calls the foul. You have got to box off the New Orleans Jazz, or I tell you, they're going to really hurt you.
6:44 to go.
Here's to good friends. Tonight is kind of special.
Where you been? It wasn't easy getting tickets for this game.
Here, Bob.
Teddy, I know exactly what I want. I want the biggest steak you got and a bottle of Lowenbrow. Steak and Lowenbrow. Dolan, you're a genius.
When you want the taste of a truly great beer, tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Here's to the chef. Here's to the bartender.
Introducing the Kellys. From Fayetteville, North Carolina, the Kelly Passenger Radial. From Cumberland, Maryland, the Kelly Truck Tire. From Tyler, Texas, the Kelly RV Tire. From Freeport, Illinois, the Kelly Farm Tractor Tire. From Cumberland, Maryland, the low-cost 4-ply tire.
For whatever driving you're doing, the Kellys have a tire for you. The Kellys. What a lineup. tough throughout the line. We're good and tough, we're the Kelly.
Here's a few tips on how to get out of an airport fast. 1, join the #1 club and reserve a car with Hertz. 2, have your license and credit card ready because Hertz will be ready for you. 3, need directions? Ask Hertz. They know the shortest routes. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster. Nobody can get you out of an airport faster.
Go, Jules, go!
Rent a Ford from Hertz.
The superstar in rent-a-car.
Right.
Following the game, CBS Sports presents the finals of the U.S. National Indoor Tennis Championships from Memphis. That's Following the Game.
The Spurs lead the Jazz 14-10. Now for a report on the Knicks-Boston game, let's go to Brent Musburger and Keith Erickson in Boston.
Welcome to those of you who have been watching New Orleans, San Antonio. Butch Beard of the Knicks in the dark has just stolen it, but it's been all Boston. They lead 12-3. Knicks with the ball right now against the Celtics here in the Boston Garden. McAdoo. Now it's 12-5. 8:06 to go in the first quarter. I'm Brent Musburger along with Keith Erickson. Celtics lost to the Knicks last night at Madison Square Garden. Celtics have to go on a winning tear. Hondo rolls up a hook shot. When they want a basket, they'll go to McAdoo, won't they, Keith? And this time, McMillan glides inside. That's it. Wicks moves to the hoop. 7 points already for Wicks here in the first quarter.
We welcome back those of you from the report in the Boston game. We have here now a 16-12 contest, the Spurs leading the Jazz. I'm Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance, the team in white. Of course, the San Antonio Spurs. Billy Pulse goes to Kobe Dietrich, who gets in tight, misses it. Pulse tries to tip it, and the rebound by Rich Kelly. Now Gail Goodrich brings it up. Larry Keenan was caught on a foul. There are 3 now on San Antonio while we were away. Truck Robinson with a dunker. That's Aaron James hitting a rainbow. And Keenan hit with a right-handed jumper at the other end to make it 16-12. An offensive foul on Kelly, Rich Kelly. And now you see the basket dropped in to make it 16-14. San Antonio leading. And on a turnover, here's Robinson bringing it up. Down to the floor is Kelly, and he was corked from behind by Mike Gale, I believe.
That was an accidental play. It wasn't really an intentional thing where he tripped him, but he was going to the basket to receive the pass. Robinson has the ball, makes an excellent bounce pass to Kelly, and he's on a mismatch with a guard, and the guard just accidentally trips him and draws the foul.
Now coming into the ball game for the first time is Mark Olberding. Olberding, a big fella, very physical at 6'9", 230. Almost traveling on the play. Outside, McElroy going over to Gail Goodrich. 3-second violation. 3-second violation.
There's another instance where the Jazz come down and have to set up. And when they have to set up, they just don't execute as well. They like to run. Without Pistol, they don't run as well. But Elgin can still come off the bench with Slick Watts, and he'll change the tempo.
And Slick has been playing well of late. Had a great game against his former team last night. Elgin Baylor coaching, of course, the New Orleans Jazz. Truck Robinson ripping it off the boards. Robinson averaging on the year 16 rebounds a game. He leads the NBA. That is Rich Kelly trying to set a screen for Goodrich. He hesitated just a little. Maybe that threw him off, Stu.
Yes, when you hesitated, you're a rhythm shooter. You have to do it all in rhythm, and that little hesitation just sometimes affects your shooting.
Olberding missing the baseline. Kelly with a rebound again. That is Goodrich. Intercepted, taken away by Mike Gale. 4.5 minutes left to go. First period here in San Antonio. The Spurs 16, the Jazz 14, and now it is 18-14. 6 points for this man, Billy Pulse.
Well, when you have your center filling the lane on a fast break and pulling up and shooting a little 10, 12-foot jumper, that's an indication of what kind of confidence you have.
4 minutes, 9 seconds to go. 18-14. Kelly's foul in the act of shooting. Verdun really is strong.
Yes, he is. He got in the way. He was the weak side forward. He came over and helped. James makes the pass into Goodrich in the corner. On the switch, he gives it to Kelly, but the weak side forward reaches in and slaps him on the wrist.
That's called a major league shot, and Louis Dampier comes into the game, formerly of Kentucky. Adolph Rupp once said, the best shooter he'd ever seen.
When you have an offensive machine like they have, and then they go to their bench and bring in a guy like Louis Dampier, you just have to wonder, when's it ever going to end? They just continually bring in guys who can put the ball in the basket.
Rich Kelly leads the New Orleans Jazz at the foul line, as you see his statistics here. Very impressive, very fine shooting team with the San Antonio Spurs at the line. They lead the league, hitting 81% as a team, 73.5% the Jazz as a team. Rich Kelly at the line. So he makes 2 out of 3. He's got 6 points. He's now tied with Gervin and Pulse as the leading scorer. And it is 18-16 the score. Larry Keenan going with a weave outside the Spurs, keeping the low post area open. Opening with a good pick, but he moved. He moved and he got nailed.
Yes, he did. He should have just stood his position and let the guy run him into him. You see Dampier coming over. Goodrich is on him pretty tightly, and when Overton steps up, he gets Goodrich, and that's the foul.
Moved his shoulder right into him a little. There's Goodrich taking the baseline pass. As on the play, Dampier just turned his back on the passer, and he got caught on it.
Yes, then that was one of the few times that the Jazz has really executed a particular play pretty well, and I think they had that play set up because Goodrich has been being overplayed, and they need some point production from Gale to offset Pistol Pete's absence.
This man's a great lifetime foul shooter, 80.5%. The little left-hander from UCLA, Gale Goodrich, making the move. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. It's tied at 18 all. In white, the Spurs of San Antonio, the explosive team from this Texas community. The shot blocked by Kelly, but he's going to try again in the ice man. Trying it again, George Gervin with 8 points. He's high man of the game.
What the Jazz are going to have to do is offensively, whoever Gervin is checking, they've got to put some pressure on him and make him play defense in hopes of getting him in a couple fouls and getting him out of the ball game.
The Spurs are in foul trouble. They have 5 team fouls. The Jazz not so. Only 1. The Spurs have to be careful. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go. The rebound taken away by Pulse over to Dampier. Dampier has the good shot outside. He missed that one, rushed it a bit. That is Larry Keenan. He gets the bank. Keenan has 6 points. Now it is 22-18 in favor of San Antonio.
The offensive rebounds that teams get and put back up are the ones that drive coaches crazy, and they also infect the players.
Dampier goes the other way as Robinson goes inside and muscles his way for 2, and Robinson has 6 points.
That was good heads-up play by James McElroy, the guard for the Jazz. He made a good move and caught a switch, saw Truck Robinson open and gave him an excellent pass.
Keenan with a tremendous pass inside. Great teamwork by Larry Keenan and Billy Pulse. The 4-point lead is the largest either team has had this afternoon. 2 minutes and 14 seconds to go. We're in the first period. The NBA on CBS in San Antonio. Tremendous pass underneath. Going over to Aaron James. He's got 6 points. The lead seesaws, or rather the lead itself, remains only 4 points, and then 2, and cut back to 4. Gervin doesn't get the bounce. Keenan, rebounded by Kelly. Now Goodrich is checked by Dampier. Will he get the call?
No, he will not. The referee, I think, is calling him for putting his right arm out. Had he just turned, Kelly gets the rebound, makes a good outlet pass to Goodrich. But there you see the right arm going out, knocking down Dampier, and that's where the foul was called.
1:48 left.
Where you going, America?
To Malibu.
Malibu! Malibu!
Malibu.
Looks like a large slice of America is going to Malibu. Chevy's new size, quick size, mid-size car that's so right in so many ways for so many people right now. You'd think it had been designed by Mr. John Q. Public himself. It's you, America. A fresh new slice of apple pie called Chevy Malibu.
A fresh new slice of apple pie from Chevrolet to you.
You're gonna eat it up.
Hey, look at that.
It's a chainsaw with its case.
Uh-oh, somebody left it.
Probably taking a coffee break.
It's a McCulloch Mac 140.
Wow.
It's got automatic oiling.
That's slick.
This is the chain brake safety feature.
Yeah.
It stops the chain in less than 1/10 of a second.
That's fast.
And look at these teeth. They sharpen themselves with a press of a button. Mine don't.
The McCulloch Mac 140. You can't buy another chainsaw with all these features at any price.
That McCulloch's got just about everything.
Yeah, but I bet it can't swim.
Good point.
McCulloch. In the yellow pages, under saws.
Fred, you're getting married. You gotta look great, so stop shaving. It's better to get stroked in the morning.
The Bic shaver?
The Bic shaver is so responsive it doesn't shave you, it strokes you.
I'm gonna get stroked like this every morning.
And the Bic shaver's cheaper than blades, yet it's a blade and handle in one.
Fred, marriage agrees with you.
Well, he really got stroked this morning.
The Bic shaver, lots of great shaves from just one Bic shaver. Then it's time for the next. So don't shave, get stroked in the morning.
Next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, the CBS Sports Spectacular presents live the Professional Karate Association's World Middleweight Championship with undefeated Bill Superfoot Wallace defending his title against undefeated Emilio Narvez. And highlights of World Cup skiing from Stratton, Vermont with Ingemar Stenmark of Sweden and Phil Mayer of the United States slated to compete. That's next Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
In San Antonio, they start them young here with the fans. This young lady is the daughter of Wayne Witt, the fine public relations director of the San Antonio Spurs. They are renovating this building, hoping to add about 4,000 or 5,000 more. And Stu Lance, this is going to be some kind of a building when they get it all together.
Yes, it is, because they come to see the Spurs play. They are pretty good fans here, and they're a rowdy bunch in a sense. So I think they'll fill up to 4,000 or 5,000.
They call one end, the baseline bums down at the other end. That's Dampier. He got the 15-footer, had good rhythm, did not rush his shot that time.
Well, he had a good screen from the forward, and he had all the time in the world to measure that shot.
Dampier getting his first two. It is now 26-22 in favor of the Spurs as Slick Watts will come in the game for New Orleans shortly. Robinson. We have a score, Boston 23, New York 12. That first quarter score. We'll be keeping you abreast of the Boston Knickerbockers game a little later on. Also Philadelphia and Phoenix as the NBA sends it to you. Slick Watts coming in. He's had 3 good games, sparked his club against Boston, a game we watched and scouted in New Orleans, and also last night in New Orleans against Seattle. He's had 3 good games. That's Mike Gale knocking it in from the right side. Gale, a 9-point per game average scorer, now has his first 2. And the gap is 6 points. The first time, the largest lead. A 6-point bulge for the Spurs of San Antonio. Robinson trying to go one-on-one against Mike Green, who's in the game. And Green with a clean block. Good play by Mike.
It was a good head and shoulders fake by Robinson. Robinson has the ball, makes an individual move. Good head and shoulder fake, but on the way down, Green gets nothing but ball.
Mike Green is 6'10". He's playing Truck Robinson at 6'7". Rich Kelly outside. Kelly has been hitting 3 out of 7. He has 9 rebounds. A good start for Rich Kelly in the middle. And it is 28-24. First quarter action. 25 seconds left to go in the quarter. Dampier outside.
The only way to play Dampier and most of the Spurs when they don't have the basketball is please don't let them get the basketball back, because when they do, they're dangerous.
Got to jump right in their vest, huh, Stu?
You have to play them awfully close.
We have 10 seconds to go. 9. You see the time remaining in the quarter. It'll be time to bring it up and have another shot as there's an offensive foul called against Slick Watts. So the man with the yellow bandana around his head makes the move. You see the time remaining in the first quarter to get the shot off. Who will it go to? Dampier, will he just take it in? I think he was trying to go to Mike Green.
He was, and Mike left the corner and made the pass go out of bounds, but it was tipped. What I think he should have done was just go head up and take the shot.
They'll have time to get one off. The clock will not start as Doug Moe calls out a play from the bench. Clock won't start until it hits someone's hand in play. So let's see if Dampier can get a pick and get it off. Nope, but Gale will. No basket, it does not go. That's the end of the first period in San Antonio. And at the end of the first quarter of play, the score, the Spurs of San Antonio 30, the Jazz of New Orleans 24.
Port of call, South Pacific.
The Navy. See your recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
I'm Tom T. Hall, here to tell you about Bonanza specials available on 1978 Chevy fleet-side pickups. With this option package, Bonanza pickups are priced $350 less than if you ordered everything separately. It includes air conditioning, gauges, automatic transmission, power steering, comfort tilt wheels, special trim, and more. So get all the Bonanza packs now at participating Chevy dealers. And bring your friends.
My son Charlie had measles when he was a baby. He was unlucky. He's going to be deaf for life. Your child doesn't have to have measles or any of the childhood diseases you can protect against. Charlie missed some of his shots. If you don't have your child fully immunized and he gets sick, how will you say you're sorry? Call your doctor or local health department. Immunize your child, please.
This is Jerry Gross back along with Stu Lance. Bill Seifert, our statistician, informs me the Jazz is shooting 41.5%, the Spurs 51.5%. You see the score, and that's Truck Robinson, the leading rebounder in the NBA. Number 21. He is only 6'7". It's remarkable how well he can rebound at his height.
Well, he's a rebounder. He doesn't get rebounds. He's a rebounder. And the difference is a rebounder goes after the basketball. And a guy who gets rebounds basically gets it because the ball comes to him.
This guy is hungry. You see a man who was hungry there, Mark Olberding, who was drafted by San Diego. Then the sails sunk into the sunset, and he ended up over with this club at San Antonio. He is a fellow who played in Minnesota. Big, strong young man. He knocked it out of bounds, and Rich Kelly will inbound again. We're at the start of the second quarter. The lead is 6 for the team in white. That's San Antonio. There's Truck Robinson. Finally, Olberding comes down with it. Going to be the strongest dribble in the NBA. Alan Bristow had it for a moment. That is Mike Green. No basket. A travel on Mike Gale. No basket.
The travel was on Mr. Green. Gale made an excellent move to the basket, and when the big guy came over, he dished off to his center, who accidentally traveled with the basketball.
It's Philadelphia 25 and Phoenix 21. That is, of course, a first period score. Other NBA games going on, and here with 11:20 to go in the second quarter. The lead is 6 for the Spurs. Gail Goodrich follows his shot. Partially blocked by Olberding, in a battle under the boards between Alan Bristow and Rich Kelly. And a loose ball foul.
The rebounding and everything is keeping the Jazz in the game. Kelly gives it to Goodrich for a good shot, follows his own shot, no one boxes him out, takes it, puts it back up, and that's the direct result for the loose ball foul on the big guy.
Now Slick Watts tries to make some movement and penetrate inside. That is Robinson double teamed, and that leaves James alone. They double off on him, and he goes to Kelly and out of bounds.
That was a good sequence of team defense by the Spurs. Each guy was helping each other out, and that's the kind of defense that it takes.
That was not a zone defense, but a fine example of switching man-to-man. Watts has his pass or shot taken away by Alan Bristow. Kelly gets it back. That's going to be no foul. Knocked down on the play as Robinson backed in. The official screened out underneath, just could not see it.
The Jazz continue to get shot after shot after shot at the offensive basket. Leonard knocks down a guy, no call, takes the shot, misses, and there's Mr. Kelly again with another rebound. That's a minimum of 10 for him. They have got to box the Jazz off the basketball.
They call a foul on Mike Green. That is his first foul. And James tries to get another one along and doesn't hit Steele.
And here again, the Jazz knocked the ball out of bounds.
30-24, San Antonio leading New Orleans. The action here in Texas. New Orleans coming in here. They have lost twice on the year. They're 0-2 against San Antonio. A foul before the shot, no basket, and Elgin Baylor is not too pleased.
Elgin didn't like that particular call. He thought that his man, Slick Watts, got nothing but basketball.
This is Elgin's first full year as the coach here in San Antonio as the head coach. Last year his team won 35 games. Right now, going into this game, it is New Orleans having won 31 games, so they'll have an improvement under Elgin Baylor. 30-24 is the score. That's Mike Green. Mike Green getting his first 2 points. Leading scorer in the game is Billy Paulson, George Gervin, each of them with 8 points for the Spurs. Slick Watts does his thing, Stu.
You have your center continually roaming the baseline and going out 15 feet from the basket to shoot jumpers, and that presents problems because the defensive center has to go out and can't help as much.
Coming into the ball game, or back into the ball game, Jimmy Mack, James McElroy out of Central Michigan. He is their quarterback on the back line. He's now working with Watts. Also in the game for the first time is Fred Saunders out of Syracuse. Saunders wearing number 12 and guarding Alan Bristow. Olverding missing the shot, tries to follow, but it's taken down by Robinson. That's Slick Watts. 32-24, the biggest lead of the afternoon. An 8-point bulge for the Spurs. New Orleans trying to hang in there. Remember, they're playing without Pete Maravich. Robinson.
Individually, Robinson can get the job done, but you can't rely on individual moves throughout the course of a ball game. You have got to get a lot from the other players. I think the Jazz are lucky to be as close as they are. The way the tempo has been going, they're shooting a bad percentage, but they're rebounding awfully well.
That steal by Slick Watts. It was not traveling. It was knocked from his hand. And so it was not traveling on the play. And it's a steal for Slick, and he brings his team back 32-28. So the Jazz are still hustling, trying to overcome the fact they're playing without their great scorer. Now Mike Gale. Over to Mike Green, formerly of Seattle. He follows. Tries it again. Kelly has it knocked away by Bristow. Bristow, who was caught adrift, he was waved and picked up by this team. Now Dampier will try and set something up. Mike Green. Bristow almost steps out of bounds. A 3-second violation, no basket. 3 seconds.
When you drive to the basket like that, big guys generally seem to think that you're going to shoot the basketball, and they're laying in the lane getting that offensive rebound position. And when you pass, you just catch your man with that extra pass, and that's the result. A 3-second violation.
8.5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
In the tropics, where we blend Dutch Master cigars, our master blender, Augusto Santiago, meets the tobacco personally. Before he accepts, he tastes it 3 times. First with his nose, then with his touch. Then he wraps a leaf around the cigar and tastes it with his taste. That's why a Dutch Masters like our Panatella is worth more. There really are masters at Dutch Masters.
New around here? Sure got a nice motorcycle.
Oh, it's a new Honda Hawk Honda-matic.
Honda-matic?
No clutch.
No clutch. Well, beautiful wheels.
They're standard.
How does a little lady handle it?
Oh, new weight distribution. It feels light.
Someday I'd love to.
Yes?
Ride it.
Well, then go see your Honda dealer.
When you're on a Honda, you're really going strong.
Sears National Automotive Values. Now on sale, the Sears 36 battery. Loaded with starting power and it's maintenance free. At only $26.99, you save $8 on Sears 36 battery.
Get the toughness and durability of Sears Guardsman belted tire. Prices start as low as $23.88. That's value in a belted tire. Guardsman belted at Sears.
Next Sunday, CBS Sports presents NBA regional action, tipping off at 1:45 p.m. Eastern with Philadelphia taking on Boston, Milwaukee going against Atlanta, Chicago tangling with Denver, Golden State taking on Kansas City, and Cleveland versus Indiana. Consult your local listings for the game and time in your area. That's NBA regional action next Sunday.
We are back here in San Antonio. It's 32-28, the Spurs leading the Jazz. Paul Griffin comes into the game. You're seeing on the bench of the San Antonio Spurs, Bob Bass, the assistant to the president, with the open shirt, and to his right in the brown attire, that's Doug Moe. Gentleman on the other side is the trainer, Bernie LaRue. Now we're back to the action with Fred Saunders trying once. Rebounded underneath by Toby Dietrich, who has moved into the hole temporarily, and a traveling violation call. Paul Griffin is into the ball game for the first time. That's Dampier. Griffin, number 30 for New Orleans for the Jazz. A tough young man indeed, Stu Lamb.
Yes, he is, but I tell you one thing they'd like to see from him is more offensive prowess. You know, think offense. He doesn't really think offense, and he lets his man play like a double team on whoever he wants.
McElroy going over to Watts. Watts trying to penetrate. Dampier with a good hand check.
Dampier is playing very good defense at this point. Keeping Slick from penetrating is not an easy task.
That is his game, to penetrate and then find the open man underneath. Watts shows he can go outside as well. Slick Watts.
I think they'll let, excuse me, Jerry.
He, of course, is no stranger to the audience in New Orleans because he played his college ball down there.
I think San Antonio will let Slick shoot the basketball from the outside, though. I think they're going to go with the percentages and say that he won't hurt him as much from the outside as he will with the penetration.
Good point. He can penetrate. Now Watts, who just stole it underneath, comes back. What a hero he was in the game last night in Seattle. A foul called, a pushing foul or a whacking foul with the arm. Slick Watts came back last night and got 24 points in that victory.
Griffin gives it to Robinson, makes a good fake, goes in and gets fouled by Dietrich. That was an excellent move.
Robinson goes to the line. Robinson averaging 22.5 points per game, averaging 16 rebounds a game, and he is not known as a great foul shooter, 63.5%. But he's got a couple here now, and Robinson has 10 points this afternoon, 32 all. That's the score. She's all tied up. An 8-point lead has gone by the boards for the Spurs. And now Watts. Saunders has it stolen away. Taken away by Dampier. Dampier almost fouled from behind. Over to Gervin. There's the Iceman. Couldn't drop that one, and Griffin with a rebound. The outlet going over to Watts. Watts with good movement, scores. Right over the top of Dampier.
There's the penetration. Even though it was an open floor situation, Slick likes to go to the basket, and he does it very well.
And the Slicker has come out and got 6 points. Bang, bang, bang. 3 field goals. So it is 34-32, and for the first time in the second quarter, it is now New Orleans leading, thanks to Slick Watts.
They're calling a foul on McElroy for Gervin, but that's the type of defense that you're going to have to play against Gervin. Early in the game, you've got to play him tough. Wear him down so that in the third or fourth quarter, he's not as fresh and he won't be that deadly in the fourth quarter.
We have 6 minutes, 51 seconds to go in the second quarter. 10 points in a row ripped off by New Orleans. They were down, now they're up by 2.
See what's new today.
Last spring, 227 specially equipped Chevy Nova police cars were delivered to the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Department. Now, that's a tall order, but no surprise, because law enforcement agencies in 47 states have made Chevy Nova America's best-selling police compact. Now, a lot of the things the police look for in a new car are the same things you'd look for in a new car. Reliability, performance, and value. Chevy Nova, a wanted car, now more than ever.
You work the docks. Without you, nothing moves. The ships are too big, the loads are too heavy, and the days aren't too long. But every day, you do it. And when the sun finally drops into the cold water, another ship with a full belly heads out for sea. And you head in for Miller Time. Miller Time. Time to relax with the best tasting beer you can find. Miller High Life, America's quality beer since 1855.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller beer. Miller tastes too good to hurry through. If you've got the time. Miller beer.
Tonight on All in the Family,
We're going to California!
the Stivicks are moving. So George Jefferson returns to Sally's house.
Well, I could say I'm glad to see you, Bunker, but why lie?
The Jazz of New Orleans have just scored 10 points in a row. They have come from 8 down to lead by 2. Now for the Philly-Phoenix game, let's go to Don Criqui in Phoenix.
We welcome those of you watching the San Antonio-New Orleans game. This is Don Criqui with John McLaughlin at Phoenix at the Coliseum. The Philadelphia 76ers in the blue uniforms have the ball and a 1-point lead. 33-32 with 8:30 to play in the first half. Walter Davis, the Rookie of the Year candidate for Phoenix, has 13 points for the Suns as Lloyd Freed drills it from way out.
Boy, Lloyd Freed puts up tough shots so many times, but it's the type of shot he can shoot. And with his jumping ability, he can always get a good shot.
Davis can't handle a too hard pass from Boosie, and the Suns turn the ball over. So Phoenix goes back on defense now as Free works in backcourt with Doug Collins. Lloyd Free against a rookie, Mike Bratz. Free can jump over just about any defender. Caldwell Jones out of the game, and Joe Bryant working in the pivot as Dawkins is playing outside. And a lot of substitutions in this game because it's been a very intense, quick-moving game. With 8 minutes to go in the first half, the score is the 76ers 35, the Phoenix Suns 32.
We welcome back our audience after looking in on the Philadelphia-Phoenix game with John McLaughlin and Don Criqui. No scoring since we left you. Both sides have missed on occasions as it has come back and forth. So it is still 34-32 New Orleans leading as Robinson misses. Saunders almost gets the rebound, deflecting it over now to Slick Watts. That's Griffin, the man we told you about who likes to bang the boards. But George Gervin coming up with a steal, trying to find room. A foul call on the drive. He'll go to the line and he'll get two.
Gervin's coming down the floor. Actually, McElroy should have made him commit a little earlier. He gets in and slips, and that was an excellent call by the official.
So the foul is to be called against the New Orleans Jazz against McElroy, his second. That'll be the third team foul against the Jazz. 3 now on the Spurs. And George Gervin, half the line out of Eastern Michigan, came into the NBA with this team, with, of course, San Antonio. Dampier comes out. Gale comes back in. Mike Gale, number 12, who comes back in the game. Larry Keenan is in the game also. This man was purchased from Virginia. He was originally found and discovered by Johnny Kerr, the former pivot man, who is now affiliated with Chicago. 5:11 to go. It is 34-all. The score is tied. George Gervin has 10 points, averaging 27.5. Right back of Pete Maravich as the NBA scoring leader. Now Slick Watts, formerly of the Supersonics, going over to McElroy. 1 second to go, and they don't get it off in time. The 24-second buzzer. It is Boston 32, New York 20, a score in the first half. You're looking at the Indiana-Detroit game.
There's an example of what happens most of the time when the Jazz have to set up. They don't execute that well. As a result, they didn't even get a shot off. I'm not taking anything away from the Spurs defense, but as you were watching, you could see that the Jazz were like, they just didn't execute as quickly and as sharp.
Toby Dietrich, averaging 7.5, now has 4 points. Incidentally, that game, of course, is in Phoenix. The other game, Indiana, was in Detroit, and the Boston game is being played in Massachusetts. The rebound by Larry Keenan, 4:23 to go. We're in the first half, second quarter. It is 36-34. The team in white has the lead by 2. The San Antonio Spurs leading in the Central Division. They're leading by 5 over Washington. George Gervin whacked that one in. He's now got 12 points. 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Now Slick Watts trying to go inside, and the crowd beginning to implore the Spurs to play some defense.
Stay down, stay down.
Saunders,
Oh!
very tough, bad percentage shot. Saunders missing the shot. Now the Spurs bringing it up. They lead by 2. Now they lead by 4. Larry Keenan.
You cannot allow your man to receive the basketball in that position on a basketball floor. You have got to deny him that position, because when he gets it, he's going to hurt you.
And so the Spurs have bounced into the lead.
We are super critical on that line. We'll knock down engines for a bad paint job, and that's no jive, man. Quality control is the most important aspect of the whole business.
James Rock, Quality Control Inspector. This is who we are and what we do at General Motors.
If the customer has problems with that car, then we got problems, because he's not going to be a General Motors customer again. We have 9 inspection stations. I go around to critical points on the line to ensure that they're doing the job right. I run hot tests. You can listen to that engine and you can say, well, this one's a good one or this one's a bad one. It's a good feeling. It's a little feeling of power. There's nobody going to overrule you. But we want to ensure that by the time that it's shipped to the assembly divisions, that engine does function in the way that it's designed to function. I feel personally responsible for that car. I know it's a good car. I know we build it and we build it right.
General Motors, people building transportation to serve people.
The major difference, Sylvania beats RCA.
Take a look at this.
Sylvania beats Zenith. And we'd like you to... Sylvania beats Sony and GE and Sears. That's right. Recently, over 1,000 people saw 6 unidentified 19-inch color pictures side by side. Then they picked the best overall picture, and the clear winner was the Sylvania Superset. So get the picture that beat them all, the Sylvania Superset. Side by side, we beat them all.
Next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Challenge of the Sexes features a tennis challenge with versatile world-class veteran Francoise Durr taking on high-ranking Dick Stockton. A gymnastics competition with future Olympians Lisa Cawthron and Jim Hartung. Plus a Frisbee challenge. That's next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
A little music here keeps the crowd alive during the timeouts in San Antonio, Texas. We have 3:32 remaining in the second quarter. The Spurs have bounced into the lead now by 6. Here's Slick Watts bringing it up. Watts and a foul.
25. Number 25.
We welcome our audience coming from the Boston game. We're here in New Orleans. You see the score, a 6-point lead for the Spurs. They're in the white uniforms. Making his move in is Paul Griffin. An oddity here in San Antonio, Texas. The low points, Stu Lance, for one period by the Spurs. The record is in danger.
The record is 18, and thus far they've only scored 10 points.
So San Antonio going for the unenviable record of cutting down on that 18. They've only scored 10 points in the whole quarter. 40-36. Pete Maravich is not playing for New Orleans. He is out with an injury. Ramando Watts is number 21. Truck Robinson, the leading rebounder in the NBA.
The Jazz have got to be pretty pleased with only being down 4 points at this point. They're shooting a bad percentage. They've shot 33% in this quarter so far, and they're only down 4. So they have to be pleased with where they stand.
That was Slick Watts making his move and fouled in the active shooting. With 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. At the line, Slick Watts in the score. San Antonio 40, New Orleans 36. Now Watts at the line. Watts is averaging 7. Slick Watts picked up from Seattle for a #1 draft choice in 1981. He was coming into the game for the San Antonio Spurs. Moving in off the bench, James Silas. He could do it all until he got that bad wheel. He's trying to make a comeback of sorts. Watts has missed 2 from the line. Now Gervin brings it up. The score remains 40-37. Billy Pauls goes inside against Griffin. He's much bigger inside. Dietrich making his move. Griffin with a rebound.
Neither club is shooting particularly well, but both clubs are hustling so that they're making it a pretty interesting ballgame.
Using the backboard and going now for 12. Robinson can utilize that backboard. That's no surprise. He plays that shot off the boards very, very well.
A lot of coaches teach that, to shoot the basketball off the board at that particular angle.
John Wooden was one who taught it well, as you know, Stu. McElroy missing with a shot. Inside, powering his way. Just with sheer hustle and determination and strength is Robinson, and he's really ripping them. The Jazz frontliner has 14 points, and he's got 8 in the quarter. With 1 minute and 46 to go in the second period, it is now the Jazz roaring back into the lead by 1. And a foul on a drive play, and at the line, Larry Keenan.
Keenan gets the ball, makes a move, going baseline, beating Saunders. Truck Robinson comes over to help, and this foul is committed. Had Truck held his position, he may have drawn the offensive charge.
It is Sanders whom they give the foul to. I believe Saunders gets the foul on it. So Fred Saunders gets the foul on the play, and at the line, Larry Keenan. Larry bangs in the first one. He's got 9 points. His average on the year is 20. And Keenan has been held under 20 in 5 of his last 7 games, so he's been fighting a slump. Now he's got 10 points. That makes it 42-41 as the Spurs bounce into the lead by 1. Been a good game. They've been blown out by 15 and 10. New Orleans in the 2 previous games. They're battling hard here this afternoon, despite Pistol Pete not being with the club.
They've been playing pretty well as a team. They've been really hustling. Their shooting, like I said before, is not that good, but they're making up for it with some desire and going out and getting the job done.
That's the second foul against Fred Saunders, so Saunders committing the foul.
Truck has a little turnaround jumper. He misses. Saunders gives a little push before he goes up and gets the rebound and is caught by the official standing right on the play.
Saunders came from Boston for number 2 draft choice in '78. 2 years with Phoenix and a year with Boston, and Larry Keenan is at the line. He came in that trade from the Nets for Swen Nader. Mr. K, they call him here. Keenan now at the line with 11 points.
He's in some sort of a slump, but I tell you, I don't think he'll stay in it very long. The good players have a way of coming out of the slumps a little quicker than some of the better.
It is Phoenix 43, Philadelphia 42 in the second period, with 3:59 to go in that game. Robinson really dominating inside. Forces his way for the shot, and they say he's fouled.
He was just going after the foul in that particular play. He drives to the middle. It's a good switch by the big guy, so he just puts it out and hopes for the foul.
Dietrich nails him his 3rd foul. That'll be 5 now on the Spurs, 5 on the Jazz. Olverding, number 53 in the game. Silas in the game also for the Spurs on the back line. Fultz up front, Gervin on the back line, and Larry Keenan. And Chuck Robinson now has pumped in 15 points. Give him 16, and at the foul line, Robinson is 4 for 4. More important, the score is now a 1-point lead for San Antonio. Gervin bringing it up. He's had quite an adjustment, too, from the back line. Actually, from the front line to the back line.
But when you can play the game the way he can play it, you make that adjustment rather easily.
That basket counts, and it'll be Billy Fultz now in double figures with 10. Baylor is hollering at his players. He gets a call, however, for a foul on it, and the foul is going to be called against Griffin. So on the 3-point possibility, here is Billy Fultz, and he's a good shooter. This man may be playing out his option. He's going to become a free agent at the end of the year, and a lot of people feel that Billy Fultz might end up back in New York where he played at college, St. John's, and he might just go back to the Knickerbockers.
I'm sure the Knickerbockers would love to have him, but by the same token, I'm sure the San Antonio Spurs are not going to let him get away easily.
He had a great line the other day. He said he likes it out here. He said he worked very hard the other day on his can. It's hard to leave this area. 18 points for Chuck Robinson. 46-45. What a whale of a first half he's having, and he's keeping the Jazz right in it. That's the Iceman. And look at Robinson. They call the basket. They say he took it off the cone. The trail referee, and Robinson is cement. He wants to squeeze the air out of the basketball.
He was really high on that particular rebound, and I think he may have obstructed the vision of the official on that particular play. Ball is shot. It's going up. It's off. It's at this angle, it's difficult to tell, but it looks like it may be hanging on the lip.
That's probably why Murphy called it, the referee. It is 48-45. The pass going over to Larry Keenan. Mr. K has had a good second quarter. He has banged in 8 points, and Keenan has 14, and now it is 50-45. The Spurs by 5 with 10 seconds coming up now in the first half. Watts makes his move. Watts. Now it is 50-47. 50-47. No basket. No basket. And that's the end of the first half of action. For a report on the Knicks-Boston game, let's go now to Brent Fussberger and Keith Erickson in Boston.
Hi, everyone. I'm Don Criqui, and this year at halftime on CBS coverage of NBA basketball, we have some of the top players in the league matched up in the old schoolyard game of horse, where a player must duplicate his opponent's shots or be assessed a penalty letter. 5 misses means 5 letters. That spells horse, and he's out. Today, Rudy Tomjanovich goes against Kevin Greavy, and for more on the rules, here's Mendy Rudolph.
The basic rules of horse are as follows. The player in control must describe his shot beforehand. Now, 2 consecutive shots from the same area are not allowed unless someone moves at least 5 feet away. There are trick shots allowed. However, the same trick shot cannot be attempted more than once in the contest. The flip of the coin will determine who goes first. Now, there's going to be disputes out there, and if there are, my word will be the final judge.
Rudy T has won the toss, and he'll lead away.
Rudy T, go.
Tip off the board, right-handed. One hand, tip off the board.
One hand, tip off the board, right hand. You saw it, Kevin?
Left hand.
You're left-handed. You do it with the strong side.
Whoop.
Kevin picks up the H.
Hooks. Jumper.
Rudy with a 20-foot jumper. Kevin makes.
The players for this competition were selected on the basis of their reputations as free shooters. And these are 2 of the great jump shooters in the league.
And Kevin follows.
Jumper.
Another jumper from Rudy T.
From the head circle, Rudy.
A miss.
So 2 letters up on Greavy.
Rudy T calls a jumper from the top of the key.
This competition at the Omni International Complex in Atlanta.
Kevin
jumper.
They're filling that basket right up here with the jump shot.
About 5 foot in from the corner. Misses.
Greavy, an All-American from Kentucky, now
Rudy
is
T
down
plays
3
shot.
letters to none.
Two-handed tip over the head, off the board.
Two-handed tip over the head, off the board.
Bank shot.
Bank shot, off the board.
Let's see what we have here.
Yes, it was. You catch that, Kevin? Off the board, two-handed, using the backboard.
Using the backboard.
To convert.
Greavy needs that shooting advantage as he's down 3 letters to none.
And makes.
He gets the roll.
Kevin Greavy.
Jumper.
Tomjanovich still with the shooting advantage. Now it goes to Greavy.
Misses. Kevin Greavy makes.
Ball away, jump shot, nothing but cord.
And Rudy T duplicates.
These guys are hitting about 80% in this.
Long jumper.
Or better.
25 feet at least. Rudy T misses. That's the first letter for Rudy T with an H.
3 letters to 1. The eventual winner of the horse competition will get a prize of $15,000.
A letter for Rudy T.
So now Greavy closes it up.
Jump shot.
These 2 players not going to the trick shot very much, staying pretty much with the basic jump shot. That's what got him there in the NBA.
And Rudy T misses. And now we have a tie game.
We do indeed. 3 letters up for each man. Greavy with the shooting advantage.
Jumper.
So Greavy's come from 3 letters down to where he leads by 1. That could end it.
Oh, no.
Oh, Rudy got it. But the pressure is still on Tomjanovich.
That's it.
So Kevin Greavy comes from behind and wins, knocking out Rudy Tomjanovich. Now let's meet Kevin Greavy of the Washington Bullets. Kevin, very nicely done. You 2 guys almost wore out a net.
Oh, that's right. I'll tell you, Rudy can shoot. He, you know, he can shoot deep, so I tried to get him on the short bank shots, and you know, he's more prevalent to take the long jump shot during a game, so I thought maybe I'd get him out of his repertoire.
Well, you came back from 3 letters down like an old Kentucky Wildcat. We'll see you in the rounds to come.
Well, let's hope so. Thank you.
Okay. Kevin Greavy of the Washington Bullets. A loser in the first round receives a check for $500. The winner advances. Join us next week when Fred Brown goes against Brian Winters.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Basketball Association. The NBA on CBS is sponsored by all the new 1978 Chevrolets, now at your Chevy dealers everywhere. The Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. And by Avis, the We Try Harder car rental company.
Back here in San Antonio, Texas, at the end of the first two periods, it's 50-47. I'm Jerry Gross, working along with Stu Lance, our analyst. And the statistics show in the first two periods, Stu, that a below-par shooting performance from New Orleans from the field.
They only shot 38% as a team from the field, yet they're only down 3 points. San Antonio shot 46.8% from the field in the first half. So I would think that Coach Baylor has to be pretty well pleased with only being down 3 points considering his offensive output.
Actually, they are 8 up in rebounds and total rebounds, 29-21. I look for Gail Goodrich to come alive in the second half. He's only 1 out of 6, and he is a vital part of the offense and must carry the load with Maravich gone. Robinson's done his job on the boards with 8 rebounds, 11 rebounds for Rich Kelly. They have not been hurting there, but they've been hurting in their offensive output.
At the guard position for the New Orleans Jazz, the starting guards have 4 points, all by Gail Goodrich. Slick Watts came off the bench, on the other hand, to pick up 9 points in only 13 minutes. So they've got to get an offensive output from the backcourt to try and offset some of the slack they're missing from Pistol.
No one, Stu Lance, really in danger of fouling out. 3 fouls on Mike Gale and 3 on Mark Olverding. Interesting to note, George Gervin's foul situation.
George has no fouls, but that's a result of the offensive output that the Jazz guards are putting up. They're not putting any pressure on George, and I'm telling you, that's going to spell trouble for later on in this ballgame.
All right, we'll watch Jimmy Mack, James McElroy, bringing the ball up against Gervin. That is Dietrich trying to contain Truck Robinson, who's been deadly under the boards. He must begin to box him out. Now Goodrich, who's been held 1 for 6 from the field with the ball, going over to Robinson. And rebounding underneath, Mike Gale, a backliner, brings it up. Now Gale, who's quarterbacked the team, going over to Dietrich. Dietrich with his team leading by 3. Back over to Gale. Rebounded by whom? Rich Kelly? It's lost, taken away, and back over to Dietrich, and a steal by Gervin.
Kelly fumbled the ball a little bit. It was slapped, and he fumbled it. Gervin picked it up and made an excellent pass underneath the basket.
So Dietrich is now 3 for 6 from the field. He has 6 points in the game, averaging 7.5. In tight, that's Goodrich taking it in tight for the score. He's got 6 points.
That's the thing that Gale can do. He can play without the basketball as well as anyone. I played with him. I know he loves to play without it, but he's caught in a situation now where he must play a little bit with it.
Billy Pauls missed a shot he normally makes, and the rebound taken away by Rich Kelly. For Kelly, his 12th rebound of the game. Robinson has 8. Robinson has been averaging 16, and Kelly, doing the job on the year, has been averaging 8.5. Robinson really battered around a little by Dietrich, loses it out of bounds. It goes now to the team in the dark uniforms. That's the New Orleans Jazz, and they are trailing 52-49.
A bad pass by Robertson hit James in the knee, and he fumbled it right out of bounds. It wasn't a particularly good pass at that angle.
That's Kelly with another rebound. He's got 13. 52-49. The lead for the Spurs there in white. Goodrich, who has been contained well. And what happened there? Did he turn it over? Yes, he did.
A little hesitation on the dribble. I think he wanted to pick it up, and then at the last moment he thought he could maybe make a penetration move to the baseline.
Back in New Orleans, the Jazz fans watching this on our CBS regional telecast. As Dietrich misses and Kelly comes up with another rebound, number 14. McElroy bringing it up. Kelly is trying to find some room. It's going to be a foul called against the Spurs.
On that particular play, the center drove into the basket. Gervin got nothing but basketball on that play.
We welcome our Phoenix fans watching here in San Antonio. The score is 52-49. The team shooting, New Orleans, they're trailing. Rich Kelly at the line, and Kelly now brings it back to, as you can see, within 2. Kelly's had a remarkable rebounding effort this afternoon. He's got 14 rebounds, formerly played at Stanford, and now it's a 1-point game. New Orleans trailing San Antonio by 1. 10 minutes to go. We're in the third quarter of action. I'm Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance. That's George Gervin missing. And Kobe Dietrich, and he's fouled, Stu.
There's another offensive rebound. We've seen a lot of offensive rebounds today, more than we should see. Here's the good pass over to Gervin, gets an open jump shot, misses it like everyone else has been doing today, but there's the offensive rebound, takes it back up, gets fouled on the play.
And the man from San Jose State is at the line, lives in Riverside, California. And it's Kobe Dietrich, signed as a free agent, has 7 points, 9 minutes and 56 seconds to go. The score, as we're in the third quarter, the Spurs of San Antonio 54, the Jazz of New Orleans 51. That's Gail Goodrich trying to make a move. Robinson plays mumbly peg with it, can't get the glue pot out and loses it to Mike Gale. Now Gale bringing it up, his team leading by 3. Throughout most of this game, it has been the Spurs leading. They came into the game a favorite of 10 points. And with 9:34 to go in the third quarter, they lead by 3. And you see Doug Moe, their coach, the coach of the San Antonio Spurs, now is going to visit with his club. 9.5 to go in the third quarter.
Alcoa can't wait.
The lightweight strength of aluminum is making big things happen, like 12-story high spheres that will transport liquefied natural gas from abroad. And this modern jet foil, its all-aluminum hull stands up to stress, even at high ocean speeds. And the reusable space shuttle, with the help of 1 million pounds of aluminum, it will work in space and then return over and over again.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait. See what's new today. When you're driving down the road and you're moving through a curve and your car's looking good, it's showing lots of nerve. It's Monza by Chevrolet.
The new Monza by Chevrolet. For a car so sporty and so well equipped, it's priced surprisingly low.
Bridget.
You know, I think I liked you better as a frog. As a frog, you had a much smoother face. Prince, didn't you ever hear Palmolive Rapid Shave? While you were away, they improved it. Palmolive Rapid Shave is thicker and lusher than ever. Feels good while you shave. Feels good after.
Improved Palmolive Rapid Shave in 3 refreshing fragrances. And now Irish Spring fragrance, too.
What do you say now, Prince?
Bridget.
Ribbit.
Robinson. This is Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance. We're in San Antonio, Texas, 54-51. The Spurs of San Antonio, the leaders in their division, are up by 3 over the New Orleans Jazz. They're playing without the services of the great Pete Maravich, who's out with an injury. Truck Robinson, number 21 in the dark uniform. The leading rebounder has 8 rebounds in this game. He's number 1 in the NBA, and he's done a fine job throughout most of the afternoon. He's being paired against Kobe Dietrich in the low post on the right on a double screen. Now McElroy brings it up. That's Kelly.
Oh, no.
A whistle and a foul here in San Antonio. 9:21 to go, third quarter. The Spurs up 54-51. And Stu Lance, it has been a difficult afternoon for the Spurs to get it going.
Yes, it has. They haven't shot very well offensively. But I tell you, both teams are hustling, playing pretty good defense, and I think it's enabled us to see a pretty good basketball game.
That was Chuck Robinson who just lost the ball. Mike Gale brings it up. Kobe Dietrich didn't want to take the shot, and Billy Paultz does. Paultz gets it back and bangs his way in with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. San Antonio 56 and the Jazz 51. Here at home, San Antonio is 24-7, and on the road, New Orleans has gone this year. They have had some problems on the road, as most teams have in the NBA. McElroy missing everything. Taken away by Rich Kelly and stolen by Dietrich. Now the Spurs leading by 5, bring it up. Dietrich, who likes to move inside. Gervin, who can hit him anywhere. They call him the Iceman, Mr. Cool.
I look for any minute now for George really to get hot and just take complete control of this basketball game.
27.5 points per game is average. He's pumped in 16 already. 58-51, the Spurs leading by 7. It's cut back to 5 as Robinson has 20 points in the game, and his average is 22.5. So with 8:10 to go, third quarter, the score, the Spurs of San Antonio 58, the Jazz of New Orleans 53. Rich Kelly is guilty of goaltending, and it makes it a lead of 7 now, 60-53. The basket goes to Fultz. He's got 14. Kelly trying to get back. Goes back outside to McElroy. McElroy cannot find the range, and the rebound hauled down by Dietrich. Now the Spurs bring it up. They're up by 7. Fultz usually is tough with that baseline shot. Keenan on the fly. Rebounded by Robinson. Good position underneath as he sneaked around his man and made the play. McElroy with excellent penetration. He could have taken the shot.
Yes, he could have, and under normal circumstances, I think he would have, but he's shooting a little poorly today, and now he's starting to think about his shooting, so he passed off, made an excellent play of it anyway.
Now it's 60-55, the lead of 5 for the Spurs. Rich Kelly averaging 9 a game, has 12 already in this one. Dietrich arched it even a little more to get it away from his man and still found home base.
It was pretty good defense on that play by Chuck Robinson, but Dietrich made an excellent shot.
And he altered his shot and still found the range. Little action underneath between Dietrich and Aaron James. No whistle. Stolen away. Here comes Gervin. Gale. Gervin. Dunked in by no basket. No basket. He was in the cone. An excellent call by the trail referee. He called it in the cone. And look at Doug Moe. He can't believe it. And the fans are going bananas.
Gale has the ball, makes a great pass to Gervin with a little left-hand spin underneath. He misses it, and as you can see on the replay, that ball was way out of the cylinder.
I'm wrong. You're right, Stu. You are right. I'm wrong, and that was not as good a call as I thought initially. As Gale Goodrich finds the range, and you can tell by the excellent work of our director, who picked that up, Bob Dunphy, that was not in the cone. It is now 62-57. They call a foul now against the Spurs, and the baseline bums are unhappy as Slick Watts comes back in the ball game.
He's calling Keenan for giving a little shove in Aaron James' back before he jumped. It's kind of a normal thing to do, and sometimes you get caught.
It's 62-57, 6:24 to go.
We're the Van Arsdales, Tom and Dick. We're identical twins. And we drink identical beers. Light beer from Miller. We love it. The best thing about light beer is it's less filling. Great taste. Less filling. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Great taste, Tom. Less filling. And I'm not Tom. You are. I'm Dick. You think you are, but you never were.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Sir, what's the hurry? Going to rent a car. Oh, well, you don't have to run. Gotta run. Oh, no, if you had an Avis Wizard number, you could walk. I gotta walk. Call toll-free and let our Wizard system do the running. Just show a major credit card, license, sign, and get the car. I don't have to run through airports? Not with Avis. I can walk through airports.
We try harder, Avis. Avis, we don't know another way.
I'm walking through airports.
Why are men switching from aerosol hairsprays to Vitalis Super Hold Pump Spray?
The pump? Because it doesn't spray any aerosol propellants.
The pump? Well, it costs less to use. Save money.
It's because the pump is stronger. Can hold longer than the best-selling aerosol.
The Pump. Vitalis Super Hold Pump Spray. Now with an even finer spray. Why don't you switch from your aerosol to...
The pump, do-do-do, the pump.
Jack Nicklaus heads a standout field when CBS Sports presents the Doral Open next Saturday and Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Is this an illegal in the cone dunk? Watch the play.
It goes off. It's caught at least 6 inches away from the basket and dunked. That was a bad call by the officials. There's the human element. We make mistakes.
No question about it, and that's what happens in sports today. The replay tells it all. And with 6 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the third quarter, San Antonio leads 62-57. The team in the dark uniform, that is New Orleans, as Slick Watts has come back into the game to Aaron James. And Robinson working inside has his shot blocked on a tremendous defensive play by Kobe Dietrich. Now Gervin brings it up. His team is leading by 5. It has been a good game, and New Orleans has played well. The fans back in Louisiana should be proud the way their team has reacted without the services of Pete Maravich, who is injured back at home. Billy Paltz with time running out, 2 seconds on the clock. On the timer. That was Aaron James with a rebound, and here comes Jimmy Mack. Jimmy Mack bringing it up. McElroy out of Central Michigan. Drafted number 3 by New Orleans. Robinson has it. Robinson from Washington. And that was a fine trade for Tom Henderson. 22 points for Robinson. He is now tied with his season average at this point.
What they're doing is going to truck every time down on a slow-up situation, and I think a little later on it's going to hurt them because defensively they're easy to cover when you go to one man constantly.
James had good defense on the last 2 sequences down inside with Larry Keenan. He had great position, stayed with it. His man sneaked by him after the shot, but it's an out-of-bounds call going to the Spurs with 5:14 to go, and it's 62-59. New Orleans on defense. San Antonio with the ball. Gale goes over Kelly, and a whistle and a loose ball foul.
Both clubs are crashing the boards. Everybody is going to have to get their man and box them out.
Boy, the field goal percentage gives you an idea of how the Jazz have had to battle here. They're not shooting well. And back at home, Sam Battistone, the majority owner of the New Orleans Jazz, along with Barry Mendelson, his assistant. I'm sure they're proud of the way their club has handled things. With 5 minutes to go, it's 62-59.
But to only be down 3 points, they're really lucky. Shooting that type of percentage, they should be down 15-20.
No doubt about it. This may turn out to be a bang of a ball game anyway. A bang-up ball game. And that one is banged in off the boards by Robinson. He has gone wild. He's got 24 points, and it is 62-61. And the crowd is a little unhappy here. Gervin trying to go one-on-one. Gale is alone. They give him that outside shot. That's the book on him. Give him the shot. And they go inside and get the rebound. And here's Slick Watts trying to penetrate. Watts looking inside. A bucket here would send New Orleans into the lead. Moving with it and without it now is McElroy. There's no whistle. Time 10 seconds to shoot. McElroy and Robinson with a rebound. This could put him in the lead. They've got it.
Leonard Robinson is single-handedly at this point keeping the Jazz in the lead or helping get the lead.
We have no basket there. There's a foul or a timeout call. No, it was a timeout, I believe, call.
It was a timeout call by the San Antonio Spurs. They want to sit down and talk it over a little bit.
So the timeout is called. Chuck Robinson is 11 for 25 from the field, 26 points, and 4-5 to go in the third quarter.
See what's new today.
Last year, Chevrolet introduced a new kind of 6-passenger car. And like hot dogs and apple pie, America is eating it up. Now in its second year, the new Chevrolet Caprice continues to give you
more headroom,
More rear seat leg room.
more trunk room, more manageability in city traffic,
more mileage. The beautiful new Chevrolet Caprice. Now that's more like it.
You're the Pepsi generation.
I never won anything before. Man, it's always the first time.
Come and have a Pepsi day. Come on and make this day a celebration. Come on and join the Pepsi generation. Come on and have a Pepsi day.
JCPenney dress shirts aren't much different from any $20 dress shirts. With fused collars that keep their shape, single needle tailoring for seams that lie flat, placket sleeves that won't gap. And JCPenney shirts look great right out of the dryer, just like any good $20 permanent press shirts. But JCPenney $20 dress shirts cost only $12. And now for a limited time only, they're even on sale.
Premiering Wednesday on CBS, it's the return of Captain Nemo and his laser-blasting sub Nautilus, threatened by the evil professor, Tor, and the Raven. Jose Ferrer and Burgess Meredith star in Irwin Allen's explosive adventure series, The Return of Captain Nemo, premiering Wednesday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Be sure and stay tuned for the Most Valuable Player Award at the conclusion of the game. Stu Lance, a timeout a moment ago. What were they talking about?
I think Doug Moe told his players one thing. every time down on a slow-up situation, the Jazz are going to truck Robinson. Let's see if we can get some weak side help from that other forward and make it a little bit more difficult for him.
All right, let's watch for that. Robinson now on defense, number 21. We'll watch when it comes down at the other end. That is Larry Keenan forcing the shot, and he whacks it in anyway. So it is now 64-63, and the Spurs go back into the lead. A seesaw battle here in San Antonio, Texas. A shootout at the site of the Alamo. And Rich Kelly has it outside, looking inside for Robinson. They now have Olberding on Robinson, trying to muscle him a little, and he goes over the top of him. Bingo! He whacks that one in off the boards. So he's been inside and outside. He is 12 for 26. He has 11 rebounds, and Robinson has 28 points.
Robinson at this point doesn't care who Doug Moe puts on him. He can put 2 or 3, it seems. He's so confident right now. He is just turning and giving each player a facial.
Gervin just missed that one, and here comes New Orleans leading by 1. Robinson is going to pump it up again. He's a little long in the rebound by Fultz. No whistle, little action underneath, and here comes the Iceman again. The rebound by Larry Keenan. Good effort that time by Keenan.
I think Larry's pleased that they didn't call him for an offensive goaltend on that one. He was way up in that air to get that rebound.
You hit it on the nose. 18 points for Keenan. He's out of Memphis State, 6'9" and 215 pounds. Now hitting the open man, Aaron James, and James drops it through. That will be for James, his 8th point. He averages 11 as Watts penetrated, did what he had to do, drew them into him, and hit him back outside.
With Robinson shooting so well, that should really help the Jazz because it should open up shots for the other players because the Spurs defense is going to be centered for Robinson.
Now outside, they've had some problems shooting. Gervin goes inside with an acrobatic move and scores. Louis Dampier will be coming in the game shortly for the Spurs. Gervin with 18 points, 2:20 to go, third quarter, 68-67, and the Spurs are swinging into the lead by 1 now. The double screen on the right side as Watts tries to go in and finds McElroy, who almost travels. 6 seconds to shoot on the 24-second buzzer. Now James, 3 seconds to shoot. It's still an air ball, and Keenan comes up with it. Gervin has it knocked out of bounds by McElroy.
That was a saving basket by James McElroy just now because the Iceman had nothing but clear passes to the baskets.
Now Dampier, who is on the bench, comes into the game. Dampier averages 9.5. Paul Griffin comes in, averaging 5.5. And Stumpy's going to come back in. Gail Goodrich. 1:53 to go. We're in the third quarter. I'm Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance. We hope you're enjoying the action with NBA basketball on CBS. Larry Keenan has 20 points. Keenan makes it 70-67, and the lead is now 3 for San Antonio.
I think Larry Keenan is shaking his slump. He was in a slump, but right now he is playing excellent basketball.
Kelly makes a good move and can't get it, but hustles and misses the next one. Watts comes up with it in a crowd. Slick Watts going with a bank.
Offensive rebounds, they do it every time. Elgin has to be pleased with what he's watching right now because they just continue to hustle on the basketball floor.
11 points for Slick Watts. He didn't play in the first quarter. Kelly takes it away along with Griffin. It's 70-69. If the Jazz get a bucket here, they take the lead. Foul, and it's an offensive foul, I believe. Or is he in the act? He's in the act, and Dampier is mad. He'll get 2.
Slick's bringing the ball down the floor. No one commits, so he just starts going to the basket. Dampier is moving and hits him a little bit with the body and knocks him off balance for the foul.
We welcome our Phoenix audience as Slick Watts is at the line. You see the score. This could tie it. It does not. Watts gets it back. The Spurs could take the lead. Foul in the act of shooting, and he'll go to the line again, Stu Lance.
Yes, he will, and he continues to penetrate. That's his game. Penetrate and make things happen and draw the foul. So he'll go to the line for 2 more free throws.
Quite a story here. This man coming from Seattle. Seattle going on a victory string. And Lenny Wilkins had to cut this man loose, Slick Watts. Wilkins' record is 29-12. He's done what could be the Coach of the Year job at Seattle. Had to find room for the men he had on the bench, brought him in, turned it all around, and now Watts is doing his thing for New Orleans. And it is now the Jazz bouncing into the lead by 1, 71-70, with 57 seconds to go in the third quarter. A great effort by New Orleans without Pete Maravich, who is injured. And the sad news in the NBA today is Bill Walton is out for 3 weeks with surgery on his toes, Stu.
Injuries at this point are really starting to tell. Without Bill Walton, the Portland Trailblazers are still a good basketball team, but believe me, not quite as good without Bill Walton.
And Lloyd Neal had some problems with a leg also, so that's going to hurt them. They're going to see an awful lot of Tom Owens. And he may be getting in shape. It may be a blessing in disguise for the playoffs. We'll be seeing a lot of action. Dampier, one of the great shooters in the NBA, turns that one in. He's got 6 points, and it's now 72-71. A seesaw battle here in San Antonio. 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. Watts bringing it up. New Orleans has lost twice against San Antonio this year. Watts now has banged in 15 points. This is his 4th consecutive good game for the Jazz.
And with Robinson out of the lineup at this point, Slick is really taking over. He's being offensive minded. He's not really thinking pass as much as he is thinking score.
He is 6 for 9 from the field, or rather from the foul line, and he has pumped in 15 points. That's Gervin with it. He's short. Olberding as the buzzer sounds, ending the third quarter in San Antonio. So at the end of 3, the score is New Orleans 73 and San Antonio 72.
Listen up, team. It's a long ride to Hog Flats.
Yeah, all day long.
So Starch is going to pass out the Right Guard deodorant.
We got stick or spray.
With Right Guard deodorant, stick or spray, protects all day. They don't just cover up odor, they help stop odor before it starts.
All day long.
And it's gonna be a long day.
Right Guard deodorant. Don't get dressed without it.
The CBS will continue after this word from your local station. She's the woman every woman wants to be and every man wants to have. See Diana Ross in Mahogany, the Wednesday night movie on CBS.
We're back here in San Antonio. 12 minutes of basketball remaining. 73-72. New Orleans leading San Antonio. And a special thanks from this end, from CBS, for the fine people in San Antonio. Angelo Drosos, the president, John Begzos, the vice president, general manager, Bob Bass, the assistant to the president, and the others who have been so hospitable to CBS with our first telecast here in San Antonio this year. That is Mike Green making his move from Seattle. He came over in a trade, and Green gets 2 points. He's got 4, and bouncing back into the lead, Stu Lance, by 1 point, it's San Antonio.
For that basket, George Gervin made an excellent play, gave an excellent pass. Just shows the skills that he has. When he's not scoring exceptionally well, he can do other phases of the game that can enable him to help your team.
Let's talk now about the last foul. That was the 4th on Mark Olberding, who was trying to muscle Chuck Robinson at the high post. He's trying to force him away from the basket. The bank shot is missed. Olberding fights for the rebound, and a garbage play. Goodrich comes up with it.
Gail said, look what I found. He's standing under there, and it drops right in his hands.
That's 10 points for Goodrich. He's going to have to come alive outside to loosen things up. They'll drop off on Slick Watts with that combination. It could happen. Here's Keenan with a hand in the face and a foul called on Aaron James. He put his fist, or rather his open palm, right on the nose of Larry Keenan.
Aaron is not particularly pleased with the call. Here's Keenan with the ball down low. He goes up, and I think the official was calling him for his left hand, pushing him in the small of the back on the way up.
So he got him either way, and Larry Keenan goes to the line looking for his 21st, and he gets it. It's now 75-75. The line, San Antonio. So Keenan makes another one. He's got 22 points. He has gone from the line 5 for 5. San Antonio 10 for 12 from the charity stripe. New Orleans is 15 for 20. Goodrich trying to find room. Gervin all over it. Griffin with his back to the basket. He thinks he was fouled. He's really after the official, but here comes San Antonio. Gervin now has banged in 20, and it's 78-75, the lead of 3 for San Antonio.
On an open court situation, and you see George Gervin coming down after you're the only man back, all you can do is just hope that maybe he'll trip or slip and throw the ball out of bounds.
Now it is San Antonio trying to do what they do best, and that's fly. Green, basket counts, a foul. Basket count 6 for Green, and the lead is now 78-75. It'll go up to 80-75. Elgin Baylor not too happy about the play. Looks over at the officials. Timeout has been called. 10:27 left here in San Antonio.
We're good and tough. We're the Kellys.
The Kellys have a way to save gasoline from the ground up. A steel-belted radial called the Kelly Gas Pincher. When we tested a set of gas pinchers against our non-radials, the gas pincher pinched from 14.5 up to 31.7 more miles out of a tank of gas. That's hundreds of more miles a year with the gas pinchers.
We're the Kellys. Rolling, rolling, rolling.
All across our land, people know our brand.
You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Spark plugs by AC.
See that, men? You can trust AC spark plugs. And remember AC filters to help protect your engine from dirt and dust. Right, Ben? Ben? Heads!
Drive through dirt and dust. Good filters are a must. You can trust AC.
Thanks, AC.
Filters by AC. Plugs and filters by AC.
Yeah, Buck. I just went to another bar and asked for light beer for Miller.
Yeah?
They said, sorry, Buck, we don't have it.
They didn't have it?
No. I don't want some beer that's going to fill me up.
No.
I want light. Tastes great.
Right.
Has a third less calories than a regular beer.
Yeah.
And, man, it's less filling. You think I'm going to the other bar again? No way. From now on, the buck stops here.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Journey to the very core of your life and the Red River that sustains it, and meet patients whose lives depend on miracles of modern medicine. Share this incredible journey with the new breed of doctors and see the gift of life restored. In The Body Human, the Red River, Monday at 8, 7 Central and Mountain Time.
You have in baseball bleacher bums. In basketball here in San Antonio, these are the baseline bums. And one of their cheerleaders is a doctor from the Air Force who comes down here and is known affectionately as the Fever Doctor. They have the fever here, Stu Lance, in San Antonio. They're leading by 5 with 10:27 to go. And at the foul line, Mike Green will be taking some foul shots for San Antonio to try and make a three-point play.
To say they like their basketball here in San Antonio would really be an understatement. They really get behind their ball club.
The whole city gets behind it. It's very similar to what has happened in the last 2 years in Portland, Oregon. They really have the fever here. They're up by 5. New Orleans trying to battle back. Robinson is double teamed. It's good, and he's fouled in the act of shooting, I believe. He has done it all.
Aaron James gives Truck Robinson a great pass down low. It gives a head and shoulder fake to Mike Green, and unlike previously, does not get all ball.
He is so strong at 6'7", 230 pounds. The number 2 draft choice of the Bullets came from Washington for Tom Henderson and a draft pick. He's only 26. He wanted to get the three-point play, can't get it, so it's still a three-point lead. 80-77 with 10 minutes flat to go in the game. The team with the ball leading New Orleans. That's San Antonio with it, and Louis Dampier up against Gail Goodrich. Olberding is in the hole now, up high, and he's guarded by Robinson, and he knocks it out of bounds.
Good series of defense by the New Orleans Jazz just now. They're making it a little bit difficult for the Spurs to run their offense.
A bucket here would bring New Orleans back to 1 point. 9 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the game. Neither team in foul trouble. Each team has 2 team fouls. That is Goodrich working inside and fading away. It's tipped by Griffin once, tipped by Griffin again, and somebody fouled Griffin. It might have been Mike Green.
Yes, it was Mike Green, and they continue to hit the offensive rebounding thing. The coaches must be going crazy with the number of offensive rebounding that both clubs are getting.
Third foul on Green. No one in danger of fouling out, and an offensive foul called as the ball is inbounded, and it'll be called against New Orleans. 9 minutes, 36 seconds to go. I believe it was on Robinson, but we have no confirmation yet as Fred Saunders comes back into the ball game. Out of the game is Aaron James. So James comes out at 6'8", and Saunders at 6'7", comes back in. Griffin picks up Green in the hole low left. Saunders picks up low on the right Keenan, and Robinson now has Olverding. You see Olverding there. Dampier against Goodrich, and Watts going against Gervin, and a foul.
Larry Keenan took Saunders down deep, and with a little bit of a size difference, he was trying to post him up, and Saunders just gave him a little bit of a shove.
So it'll be the third team foul called against Fred Saunders' club, New Orleans. The Spurs have 3. They will inbound again. It is not a shooting foul. Washington leading Houston 92-74 in the fourth quarter. 5.5 to go there. Atlanta leading Seattle by 1. 9.5 to go in that game. Boston leading by 30 points over the Knickerbockers in the third quarter. How about that one? Chuck Robinson with a rebound. His team is down by 3. 9 minutes to go in the game. Here comes New Orleans. Third quarter score, Philadelphia by 7 over Phoenix. That's Robinson hitting the backboard. He's done it all. Chuck Robinson.
And from a defensive standpoint, Olverding was all over him. I mean, there's nothing more he could have done short of getting a rope and tying him up.
Statistician Bill Cipher tells me it's 14 for 29 for Robinson. Robinson has 32 points. It's 80-79 with Gervin. No good, and the rebound to Larry Keenan. Now the lead has gone back up to 3 points. This has been a grueling basketball game, Stu.
Excuse me, Jerry. Larry Keenan is taking up some of the slack of George Gervin's off shooting today.
No doubt about it. He's pumped in 24. Robinson takes Olverding to the cleaners and draws the foul. He's given him a clinic on that play.
They isolate and give Robinson the whole side of the floor to work. He gives a good head and shoulders fake, get him off his feet, and he comes back and draws the foul. It's a 2-shot foul.
So the young man out of Minnesota comes out of the game with 5 fouls, and at the line it's Chuck Robinson. Robinson on the year at the foul line. As we told you earlier, hitting 63.5%. Robinson has missed 1 so far from the foul line this afternoon. He has 4 out of 5. Man who just came out, Mark Olverding.
What they're going to have to do is just try and play him without the basketball. Don't let him receive the basketball, because once he receives it, no one can stop him today.
He is now 6 out of 7 from the foul line, and he's pumped in 34 points, and the lead is 1 to the Spurs. 8 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the game. Mike Green, rebounded by Robinson. Who else? Off the boards, Robinson. That is why he's the leading rebounder in the NBA. The first man to hit 1,000 this year and surpass that, and he's got 13 boards already, and that's not even his average. His average is 16. Now Watts trying to penetrate. Goodrich, they've bottled him up most of the afternoon. And they run the 24-second clock out. That's good defense.
It's good defense, and as a result also of going to Robinson so much that now the other 4 players, when they do touch it, they're not as sharp because they've had to stand around and basically watch Robinson.
An excellent point, Stu Lance. We welcome the Boston fans, Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance. 7:21 to go in the game, and the Spurs lead by 1. The team in dark uniforms That is the New Orleans Jazz, and Fred Saunders cannot find a handle on it. Billy Paultz comes back into the game now for San Antonio. 7:17 to go. The Spurs leading by 1. But what an effort, Stu Lance, by Truck Robinson. 6 for 7 from the foul line. 34 points, and he has hauled down 11 rebounds already.
What more can you ask from him? He's done it all. He's made up the difference from the Pistol has done, but he has just been phenomenal today.
Inside, it's amazing that George Gervin has not posted Slick Watts more. Dampier comes up with it. Dampier now makes it the Spurs 84, the Jazz 81. 6 minutes and 51 seconds to go. Gail Goodrich, formerly of UCLA, with the ball. Has a good outside shot. Let's see what he'll do. He did it, and it's now 83-84. The lead is 1. Quite a basketball game at San Antonio.
And I noticed both Goodrich and Dampier are defensing one another on both ends of the floor. It's amazing. They're both the oldest players on both teams. So I think they made that matchup themselves. They said, I want the oldest guy.
Now Slick Watts, who can penetrate well, goes over to Saunders, who is with Boston. Watts formerly with Seattle, giving it over to Truck Robinson, who came by way, he's going one-on-one on Dietrich. He came by way of Washington. Look at the battle into the boards as Larry Keenan comes up with it. Here comes San Antonio leading by 1. 6 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Rebounded by Robinson. He is only 6'7", and he leads the NBA in rebound.
They should check and see how many number 21s are out there. He is all over this floor.
They say officially it's 15 rebounds now for Robinson. Watts missing the shot, Paultz with a rebound. 1 point lead for the Spurs. 5 minutes, 46 seconds to go, and Doug Moe calls the play from the bench. Let's see what he wants to do. A double pick on the left. Going one-on-one was going to be Gervin. Knocked away by Watts over to Goodrich. Goodrich goes in for the shot. He's fouled in the act of shooting. New Orleans has come off the floor. They were trailing by as much as 8 in the period earlier. Moe is furious, and 5:33 to go, and they're up by 1.
Gervin is trying to take advantage. Watts sneaks a hand in, gets it. Goodrich is going down unmolested. Gervin is trying to make up the difference. Goodrich held it up, makes the basket, and draws the foul.
Now Gail Goodrich takes the shot and does not get it. 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in the game. The score, the New Orleans Jazz 85, the San Antonio Spurs 84. You won't find Gail Goodrich missing 2 shots at the foul line, a lifetime 80% shooter. That's amazing.
Well, it happens to the best, as you just well saw. But he is an excellent free throw shooter, and I'm sure it'll take a long time before he'll miss 2 in a row again.
Doug Moe unhappy over the last steal. We have 5:28 left. We are back in San Antonio. That's a reminder, next Saturday on CBS, you'll have an opportunity to watch the Professional Karate Association's World Middleweight Championship. The fellow by the name of Superfoot Wallace, he sends a kick clocked at 60 miles an hour. That's why they call him Superfoot. That should be something. And remember, after the press conference this week, Muhammad Ali had some other things to say. And as a result of that, CBS was there to record the former heavyweight champion's comments. And that will be presented also next Saturday, part 2, as Muhammad Ali had some more things to say about his controversial career. Stu Lance, he is still the #1 box office man.
Yes, he is. And as long as he's around, he will continue to be the #1.
That is Louis Dampier, number 10 for San Antonio. San Antonio is down by a point. 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go. It's been Truck Robinson's afternoon. He has kept his team in the fray here, as it were. Dietrich outside. That's Dampier. You cannot give him air.
I don't know why he is getting so free. They're sending a forward down to pick the guard, and he's popping out, and he is wide open. They're going to either have to switch, or the guard's going to have to fight through.
Dampier will murder him outside. That is the 11th lead change so far. Dampier is from the field 5 for 7. So you're right, Stu Lance. You're going to have to watch him. 5 team fouls on the Spurs now. 3 team fouls on the Jazz. That's Griffin with it. Over to Saunders. Saunders goes into the hole. Dietrich trying to stop the big guy. Can't do it. He goes around him. And now it is 15 for 30 from the field. 15 rebounds and a total points for Robinson at 36. It is 87-86 with 4:40 to go in the game. New Orleans leading. That's Dampier, but more pressure that time by Watts. Larry Keenan with a rebound and a whistle.
That time, Watts put a little pressure on Dampier when he was shooting and didn't let him get set as quickly.
Washington with a final 106, Houston 88. Little disturbance in the stands. The natives are in a frenzy.
They disagreed on how to stop Truck Robinson.
4 minutes, 33 seconds left. 4 team fouls now on the Jazz. 5 team fouls on the Spurs. San Antonio moving it inside, and Gale has it taken away by Fred Saunders. Saunders going over to Goodrich. By and large, Durbin has done a good job on Goodrich most of the afternoon. Now Gale has picked him up. They're going to go to Robinson again. The battle between he and Dietrich underneath. Dietrich is taller. Robinson is much quicker and stronger. Watts, there's time running out, 4 seconds to go, and a traveling violation. Stu, you called it right. They're trying so hard to go one way. Their whole offense is now fouled up.
What they should do is run some plays 2 or 3 times down the floor for somebody else. Let Robinson be a decoy type situation so they can get other people involved so they don't become stagnant, standing around watching one man do it all.
The professional high for Truck Robinson is 38. He has 36 and a foul called against George Gervin.
George is coming up. They accidentally steps on Slick Watts' foot and loses his balance, and the ball goes off his leg and out of bounds.
So it's no foul, it's just a violation. Now with 15 seconds to shoot, Dale Goodrich, a bucket here would be a big one. Griffin, he's got it. And that means New Orleans takes their biggest lead in the 4th quarter. They're up by 3 in a remarkable display of courage with a team playing without Pete Maravich. They now lead by 3 with 3:37 to go. And San Antonio is going to have to shake themselves. Larry Keenan does it. Keenan hitting outside. He's had a whale of a game, 26 points. And Keenan in the game has gone now 10 for 17 and 5 in a row. So he has become hot, and the most valuable player award still might be up for grabs. Now it is 89 to 88. 3:18 left, the Jazz leading. They're trying to make it 3-point lead. Saunders going into the hole to Goodrich. Goodrich beat his man but couldn't score. He had posted Mike Gale. Knocked down to the floor. Griffin does not get the foul. Knocked away. Fine play by Saunders. Tips it over to Griffin. Griffin finally gets it back. It's off the backboard. Recovered on a fine play. Larry Keenan tipped it there. Dietrich goes over to Pulse, who goes to Gervin. They've got 2.
Now that's the type of play that might just get George involved in the offense again. He's not had a good offensive game. Gale throws the ball down to Pulse, takes it a little bit to the hoop, gives it to Gervin, goes up, makes a good play.
'90 to 89 with 2 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. And the lead is by 1 to the team in white. Robinson shows he's human. Saunders gets the rebound. He's going to bring it outside. Goodrich had some room, but he was looking for a pass. Saunders with a rebound. Saunders puts his team ahead by 1 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 91-90. Now lead by 3 with 3:37 to go. And San Antonio is going to have to shake themselves. Larry Keenan does it. Keenan hitting outside. He's had a whale of a game, 26 points. And Keenan in the game has gone now 10 for 17 and 5 in a row. So he has become hot, and the most valuable player award still might be up for grabs. Now it is 89 to 88. 3:18 left, the Jazz leading. They're trying to make it 3-point lead. Saunders going into the hole to Goodrich. Goodrich beat his man but couldn't score. He had posted Mike Gale. Knocked down to the floor. Griffin does not get the foul. Knocked away. Fine play by Saunders. Tips it over to Griffin. Griffin finally gets it back. It's off the backboard. Recovered on a fine play. Larry Keenan tipped it there. Dietrich goes over to Pulse, who goes to Gervin. They've got 2.
Now that's the type of play that might just get George involved in the offense again. He's not had a good offensive game. Gale throws the ball down to Pulse, takes it a little bit to the hoop, gives it to Gervin, goes up, makes a good play.
'90 to 89 with 2 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. And the lead is by 1 to the team in white. Robinson shows he's human. Saunders gets the rebound. He's going to bring it outside. Goodrich had some room, but he was looking for a pass. Saunders with a rebound. Saunders puts his team ahead by 1 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 91-90. The Jazz coming back. What a seesaw battle. The lead changing hands, back and forth, 12 times, now 13 times. Lead changes. Gervin with it, almost travels, did he? No, he was fouled.
Doug Moe's a little upset at his team right now because, like throughout the course of the game, they are giving the Jazz too many opportunities to score. They're getting 2 and 3 shots almost every time down.
Now Gervin goes to the line. He has not missed today, 2 for 2. He's got his 23rd point. What a performer this man is. Very underrated, very much unheralded. But he is a great one. He now has 24 points. And the lead goes back 92-91 to the Spurs with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Both teams, mind you, in foul trouble. A foul here results in a penalty. That's Goodrich trying to move against the big guy. It's blocked by Fultz. Back to Goodrich. He measures it. And Goodrich won't miss that shot.
He won't miss many open ones, but that's a basket from a direct result of Fred Saunders. He hustled, got the loose ball, and gave it to Gale for the easy shot.
Yes, he did, and it's now 92-91. The Spurs leading by 1. 1 minute, 50 seconds to go. Goodrich has 4 field goals in the final period. He's been a big man. That is Fultz alone to Gervin, and he's fouled before he gets the pass or the shot away. Now the interpretation by Ed Middleton will be important. Was he passing or was he shooting?
He's calling a 2-shot foul going to the basket, which is a good call.
The score, now there was a change. I gave you the score earlier, 92-91. It was wrong on the board. They have changed it, and the Spurs are down by 1. Now they're tied. So I beg your pardon on that one. That was an incorrect score. It is now tied at 93. Now it is a 1-point lead as Elgin Baylor looks on. A 1-point lead with 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in the game. Hang on to your hats wherever you are. There is a timeout on the court. Elgin Baylor will greet his troops and come up with some kind of a play to see what they're going to do. Will they go to Chuck Robinson? What'll they do? 1 minute, 41 seconds to go. The Spurs, leading by 1, go back on defense. And Elgin Baylor, along with his assistant coach, Bill Burtka, and his trainer, Don Sparks, are talking it over.
Yes, they are. And what I think they're going to do is use Truck basically as a decoy, so they can run Goodrich off of him and get a good shot. If that doesn't work, of course, then they can always throw it right inside to Truck, and he's been hot all day. Why stop now?
So we'll watch to see whether Gale Goodrich will get the shot or whether they'll go inside. It might be that inside, San Antonio's coach, Doug Moe, will elect to double team with the weak side forward, the big guy, Truck Robinson. He has not done that too much. He has relied on 1 or 2 or 3 players to try and wear down Robinson, and his stamina is incredible.
He's in exceptional good shape. He can play the game. He leads the league in minutes played, so it's not any surprise to see him out there for this amount of minutes tonight.
Truck Robinson, the first player to surpass 1,000 rebounds. He's been averaging 44.5 minutes a game. And tomorrow night, a reminder on CBS, you'll be journeying to the very core of your life as it is. It is a fantastic show. They call it a trip through the body human. And the Body Human and the Incredible Red River is the name of it. That's going to be tomorrow night. It starts at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central and Mountain Time. Remember, it's the Body Human, the Red River. An incredible show on CBS. Final score, Atlanta knocking off Seattle, 101-94. 101-94. The baseline bums, as they call them, and the fever doctor, they're trying to pump up the crowd to get some good defense here. The situation is this. 1 minute, 41 seconds remaining. Both teams in foul trouble. The team with the ball trailing by a point. Gale Goodrich is in the game along with Slick Watts. Mike Gale will guard Goodrich. George Gervin, who has a height advantage over Slick Watts, much bigger, will presumably pick up Slick as Slick drives to the right side. He does, and away we go. 16 seconds to shoot on the 24-second timer. Inside, the pass deflected by Gervin as Saunders tried to go. It was deflected by Gervin on a big, big play. Now a bucket here with 1 minute and 20 to go would give San Antonio a 3-point play. Will he back Watts in further? He's got a great height advantage on him. Gervin does. The shot scored by Larry Keenan. Keenan has gone wild. He's got 28 points. He had 6 in the first quarter, 8 in the second quarter, and 6 in the third, and he's now got 28. He is 11 for 18 with 6 in a row. He is going for the most valuable player award also.
Yes, he's had a very good game today.
-3 for New Orleans fans, a 3-point San Antonio lead. We have now 1 minute to go in the game. Watts finds the open man. It is good, and he's fouled in the act of shooting. So a great play by Watts.
That's the thing he does so effectively. Gets a pick by Griffin, goes baseline with the big guy, continues on, waits for someone to commit, gives to Robinson, who takes it up, is fouled, and gets the basket for the possible three-point play.
What a play by Griffin underneath. He boxed out very well and let Robinson go in. Foul on Dietrich, his fifth. 56 seconds left to go in the game. This could tie it up. He's got 39 points. That's a new high for Truck Robinson. 39 points. And at the foul line, 7 out of 8. What a battle between Robinson and Keenan now. Billy Paultz outside. 46 seconds to go in the game. It's tied up. Gervin with it. Gervin could have taken the shot. It's taken away by Griffin. Over to Goodrich. Now to Slick Watts. Gervin's behind him. He blocked it. A clean block. And a no goaltending call. Oh, they're going to tear the place down. Goaltending or a foul. Goaltending or a foul. It is a foul call, not goaltending, Stu.
That was an excellent hustle play by George Gervin. There was a turnover on one end. Here you see Slick with the ball from a pass from Goodrich. And Gervin is flying down the floor, blocks the ball against the board. Saunders gets it, tries to take it up, and he's fouled by Dietrich.
There are some now who want the play off the board to be called, but it is not goaltending. No, it's a good call. Middleton made the call. At the line, Fred Saunders. A tie game with 35 seconds left to go in the contest. Saunders at the foul line. Saunders is a 74% foul shooter. The pressure mounting. He averages 3.5 points a game. Fred Saunders gives his team a 1-point lead. 35 seconds of basketball remaining, and a timeout has been called by San Antonio. This has been an exciting game. The Jazz did not figure to put up this good a battle against the Spurs, but Stu Lance, they've had a great afternoon.
That's what hustle and desire can do for you. They came out to play. The intensity is there. They weren't shooting well early, but they made up for it with hustle and desire, and they are right there right now.
And by and large, what a tremendous effort by the two referees in the National Basketball Association who are working this game. Don Murphy, a 15-year veteran, and Ed Middleton, 3 years in the NBA. That man has been also in the ABA. And Don Murphy, the senior referee, controlling this game so very well this afternoon. And it's hard to do, Stu. In the years you played in the NBA, this is the kind of game that can get away.
Yes, it can, especially with this type of crowd. It's easy for this type of crowd to sometimes get on the officials' nerves and have them go one way or the other. But they've done an exceptional job today of keeping control of the game.
Right now, Truck Robinson has gone 16 for 33 from the field. And Larry Keenan has gone 11 for 18, and Keenan has hit 6 in a row. So he has kept his team in there for the Spurs as he has pumped in the final quarter 8 points.
On that previous play by George Gervin when the New Orleans Jazz wanted goaltending, you are allowed to slap the ball against the board as long as you don't pin it. And by the definition of pinning, it means 3 things: hand, ball, and the glass.
It is 96-97. The Spurs trailing. We welcome our Boston fans, Jerry Gross, along with Stu Lance. We have 35 seconds of basketball remaining. The New Orleans Jazz are leading 97-96, and it will be an out-of-bounds play coming up for San Antonio. The Jazz, with a remarkable display of fortitude, playing without Pete Maravich, have done it all. Truck Robinson this afternoon has gone 16 for 33. He has a new high of 39 points. Larry Keenan has kept San Antonio in it, 11 out of 18 with 6 in a row. And whom will they go to now? Will they go to Keenan? Inbounding it, Mike Gale. Billy Paultz. 33 seconds remaining. You see the remaining time in the game. A countdown the 24-second clock. 15 seconds on the 24-second clock. That is George Gervin with a height advantage. Outside, Larry Keenan. Larry Keenan taking the shot. The rebound taken away by Mike Gale. 15 seconds in the game. Blocked by Rich Kelly. He wants timeout. Rich Kelly wants a timeout. And so, you see the time remaining in the game. This will be one of the great come-from-behind victories for this fledgling New Orleans team. If they are battling for a playoff, Stu Lance. Yes, this has to pump them up.
They're battling for a playoff. Atlanta won today. They have got to win. They can't rely on other teams to knock off Atlanta, etc. So they've got to go out and win themselves. And this is the type of game that can really make a difference for the season with the New Orleans Jazz. This could pump them up so high, playing with the services of their great star, Pistol Pete.
The game is on the line right now. There are 12 seconds remaining in the contest. 97-96 is the score. The New Orleans Jazz with the ball have the lead over the San Antonio Spurs. "12 seconds remaining. Now the situation is the coach of the New Orleans Jazz has an opportunity here to set up a play. Get a good shot, Stu Lance. What will he do? He's going to have to make a move somehow. Will he go with a penetrating guard with Slick Watts to look for the open man, go one-on-one? Will he look for a screen for Goodrich? Will he go inside? What's your feeling on this situation right now?
Number one priority is get the basketball in bounds. That inbounds pass is so important right now, it's unbelievable. You cannot, they've got a 1-point lead with 12 seconds. They don't have to shoot. If they get the ball in bounds, all they have to do is hold it. The Spurs have to foul. So they'll try to get it to one of their very good free throw shooters. I would imagine Gail Goodrich and the likes, and just hope for a foul. But like I said before, that inbounds pass is so important.
Each team, mind you, has one team out left. Elgin Baylor is going to go with Gail Goodrich and Slick Watts on the back line. 12 seconds to go. 12 seconds of basketball remaining. The New Orleans Jazz 97, the San Antonio Spurs 96. Inbounding the ball will be Paul Griffin. We welcome our Boston viewers. New Jersey 109 and Buffalo 103. That's the final. And in 12 seconds, we'll have a final here. Larry Keenan will be guarding Paul Griffin as he inbounds. Griffin will be inbounding. He's 6'9", and Keenan goes against him now. He is 6'9". Let's see what Elgin Baylor's club will be doing. They're looking for a man. 5 seconds to get it in. It is stolen away by the Spurs. Gervin stolen away. 9 seconds to go. Mike Gale. 6 seconds to go. 5 seconds to go. A timeout has been called, and Stu Lance, you called it just a moment ago. Handling the basketball is so very important, and the Jazz did not do it, and Mike Gale has given his club a 1-point lead with, you see, the time remaining, 5 seconds to go, and now the Jazz has the pressure on them.
In my 10 years in the league, I've seen that happen so many times. That inbounds pass is so important. You can't do anything without the basketball. They have a 1-point lead. They don't have to score. All they have to do is get it inbounds.
The last play, on the inbounds play, you got 5 seconds to inbound it.
Keenan comes down, gives the ball to Mike Gale, doesn't hesitate, goes right up for the shot in rhythm and scores it.
So Mike Gale could be the hero. The steal on the last play, they say, was by Keenan. Larry Keenan had the steal on the inbounds play. So Keenan turns out to be a big factor on that one. And the situation with the crowd standing here in San Antonio, 5 seconds to go. San Antonio 98, New Orleans 97. Elgin Baylor has now talked to his team. Aaron James comes into the ball game. Rich Kelly is in. He's the big man in the middle at 7 feet tall. Gail Goodrich and James McElroy and Truck Robinson. A reminder on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday. That's the World Heavyweight Karate Championship with Bill Superfoot Wallace clocked at 60 miles an hour. His foot traveling to the head of an opponent. Also, Muhammad Ali on that one with part 2 of an exciting press conference. The action in San Antonio, and away we go with the final 5 seconds of basketball. Jerry Gross along with Stu Lance, and the crowd is standing.
There's still plenty of time for the Jazz if they just maintain their composure and don't get too excited about throwing that ball away again. If they can get the ball in bounds, they've got 5 seconds to operate.
And we have a battle for the most valuable player, too, between Larry Keenan or Truck Robinson. But the game hangs in the balance. 5 seconds to go. James McElroy will inbound it. He goes over to Rich Kelly. Kelly finding an open man. Aaron James. The ball game is over. The ball game is over. Aaron James had the open shot and could not make it. And the MVP of this afternoon's game will be Larry Keenan of the San Antonio Spurs. Final score, 98 San Antonio, 97 New Orleans. The most valuable player is Larry Keenan. And Larry Keenan, the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player Award, and going to his school, Memphis State, Chevrolet's $1,000 scholarship will be awarded. A thrilling windup. Final score 98-97. Larry Keenan with 5 assists, 10 rebounds, 28 points, 11 out of 18 from the field, and 6 in a row in the last 2 periods of play. We're now going to take you to Phoenix and Don Crickey and John McLaughlin.